Hi again, everyone. Len Berman for NFL 83. Just 3-0 at halftime. Where would the Jets be without their special teams? Both Monday night with the punt return and today with the fake field goal. And as for the Patriots, when will they score another point? After being shut out last week, missed the field goal with Easton at quarterback. Patriots struggling on offense. Now, there is lots of scoring in Cleveland. 21-17, Cleveland over Baltimore, late second quarter. Some terrific plays back and forth as Sam Ratigliano's club is the hottest in the AFCs. They quickly took a 7-0 lead. Then after a Baltimore field goal, Sipe hit a wide-open Willis Adams, and quickly it was 14-3. The Colts came right back. Look at this play. Pagel scrambles, a sidearm shovel pass to Randy McMillan, 4 yards away. Cleveland was up 14-10 at that point. The next series, Sipe scrambles, moves out. There's Ozzie Newsome in a crowd, comes away with it, charges down the sideline, shakes off Anderson, the last tackler for the Colts, moves on in, and then the Colts came right back on the next series. 4th and goal from the 1. Randy McMillan took it in. Quite a shootout with important playoff implications. Cleveland leads it 21-17 late second quarter. The game you're watching? Well, there's some offense going back and forth, but some drop balls and no touchdowns, as Tony Eason has replaced Steve Grogan. Look at this play. Play of the game thus far, the fake field goal. Pat Ryan takes it, runs 25 yards. 1st and goal for the Jets, but the problem that's plagued them all year, they just can't punch it in. Lamb Jones, a problem that's plagued him off and on. That's a touchdown right there, slipped through his fingertips. Then Freeman McNeil tries to get it in, but he is stopped by Kenneth Sims. Walton and company settled for a field goal. 3-0 Jets, the game you're watching. Another halftime score. Important playoff game, 10-10 with implications there, Vikings and Saints. And Chicago, somewhat of a surprise today at halftime, leading at 10-3. The Bears very much alive, just 2 games out of first and getting lots of offense against the 49ers today. Bill McAtee now, more scores and highlights.
All right, Lenny, Philadelphia and Washington, and after they polished off the Rams so convincingly last week, a lot of people think that Joe Gibbs' club is the best in the NFL. They got a little bit of a scare today from Philadelphia, but right now they lead the ball game by a score of 28-14. Interesting scenario down in Tampa. The loser of this game will probably get the #1 pick in the draft, but remember, Tampa Bay traded away the #1 to Cincinnati to get quarterback Jack Thompson. Well, the folks in Tampa have watched a long season, but it has been Tampa Bay today. Jack Thompson, a 7-yard touchdown pass to number 46, Adger Armstrong out of Texas A&M, but Bill Capice missed the extra point. Thompson came back and threw one more touchdown pass, this in the second quarter, 25 yards to Kevin House, 12-0 Bucks. Then Florian Kemp kicked this 51-yard field goal, and that's where we stand late in the second quarter. It is 12-3 Tampa Bay. Now, Ahmad, getting back to the New England Jets game, low-scoring game. Should Ron Meyer be concerned now about his club's playoff hopes after being shut out last week?
Well, I think in this game, the important question here is the New York Jets, because they're in a situation where no player wants to be considered a quitter. And they're in a shot now last week. They got a big win over New Orleans, which brought them back to being legitimate spoiler, that is. And if they can come back and beat a couple of teams that are on their way to the playoff, that can almost salvage their season. As far as Ron Meyer's concerned, they've got to win every game to be involved in that playoff situation. And I personally think the Washington Redskins are the best team in football.
Okay, Ahmad. Lenny?
Riggins, 2 more touchdowns. He has 21. That's a new NFL record for rushing touchdowns. The Skins game. Interesting golf action coming your way right after football today on NBC. Let's shoot you out to Vince Scully in Scottsdale.
Back at Shea Stadium, Marv Albert with John Brody, and for local highlight shows around the country that will hit the air tonight, nothing from Shea to this point. Here is the scoring in the first half. It was Pat Leahy, 18-yard field goal, and that has been it, at least to this point at halftime. The Jets over the Patriots by the count of 3-0. But the big play, the Jets nearly had 6 with Todd looking for Lamb Jones.
Well, Richard throws the ball a little bit high, but he had to, or it wouldn't got over the defensive end. And as you see, Jones go up for the ball. He tries to cradle it in. Well, it's a habit. They had criticized him earlier in previous years for trying to jump up and catch the ball in his arms in a cradle fashion. When you do that, when the ball's thrown over your head, obviously you've got your ribs protected, but you generally don't catch the ball. And he's going to have to start getting out of the habit of trying to cradle things that are thrown over his head, because later in the first half, he also went up tried to cradle the ball, and Fred Marion picked it off for the one turnover in the ball game so far. So I don't think Lamb Jones has a problem getting open. It's when he gets there, he's got to start bringing down the ball more often.
And going into today's game, the talk was, what will the Jets do against Tony Collins, who rushed for 212 yards against them in their earlier meeting? Well, to this point, he has been held in check, only 22 yards, 11 carries.
And it would be a nice luxury, we mentioned earlier, if Tony Eason could get Tony running the ball for another 200 yards, but that hasn't happened. I think Eason's going to have to take the ball game into his own, and he's throwing the ball well enough to make something happen for New England. They haven't given him the plays to get on the scoreboard. You saw late in the second quarter that he was moving it pretty well. They didn't come out with any points. I think in the third quarter you're going to see him open up.
All right, so at halftime on the field goal by Leahy, it's the Jets 3 and the Patriots nothing. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Both the Jets and Patriots are making their way back on for the second half as we check out the first half statistics. And Jets and Patriots equally adept in terms of time possession. They've had it for almost the same amount of time. Neither has been able to do anything with it.
I think you just said it. And you wait for something to break loose, because it's not like these two teams don't have effective offenses. Both of them have a lot of big playmakers on both sides, and no use beating a dead horse, but thus far we haven't seen it.
All right, the Jets at 5-7, coming off the 31-28 come from behind win in New Orleans. And the Patriots 6 up, 6 down last Sunday, losing to Cleveland at home 30-0. The rookie Tony Eason getting the nod today, what with the injury suffered by Steve Grogan last week, and he is 6 for 12, 84 yards. Todd also has been uneven, 9 out of 17 for 84.
And he's had some balls dropped. I think the area that might be in question is the decision as to where to go in critical times. 3 times he's gone to receivers that wouldn't have had the first down had they received the ball, and so they don't pick up the first down. But they have moved the ball pretty well, have the Jets. On the other side, New England has not been able to run the ball well, and will have to start firing it.
Jets and the Patriots taking the field as we get set for the second half. Head coach Ron Meyer of the New England Patriots. Tough man. Some of his philosophies not appreciated last year by the veterans. He has pulled back a bit, seems to be more relaxed. Players say he's still strict, but now he explains things to them.
Well, that's very nice. It's always nice to have him explain it. You will stay in your room, but at least I explained it to you.
Well, from his point of view, some of the gripers from a year ago are not with the club.
I think Ron Myers is doing a fine job, and he's got his team into a position where they're contending for the playoffs for the second straight year, and 2 years ago that didn't look like it was going to happen.
Preston Brown, Kurt Springs are back. And Fred Steinfort getting set for the approach. Underway, third quarter. This is Brown to the 10. 20. And stripped. The Patriots have recovered. Keith Lee, a backup strong safety on the recovery.
And now we're trying to get started. It looks like the second half's going to open with a boom for the Jets. Preston Brown breaks through at a point of attack. Forgot to take the ball with him. And the Patriots have excellent field position.
Keith Lee in his third year out of Colorado. On the recovery, looked like Dave Browning got a hand in on Preston Brown, who came in leading the NFL in kickoff return. So a break, and the Patriots first down at the Jet 28. The quarterback is Tony Eason, and looking to throw on first down. Sideline pass for Lynn Dawson, the tight end. Picked up 4 on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 6. Darrell Ray on the tackle. New England with Brian Holloway and Darrell Haley, who came on for Bob Kreider.
in the second quarter. At the tackles, John Hanna, Ron Wooten up the guards. Dwight Wheeler replacing the injured Pete Brock at center. Second down and 6. Van Egan close to the first down. Johnny Lynn, Artie Lyons on the stop, a 6-yard advance by Van Egan, and it is a first down. Mark Van Egan in his 10th year out of Colgate. He's 31 years old, picked up on waivers from the Raiders at the final cut last season. He is still the Raiders' all-time leading rusher, and he wasn't quite through when they let him go. First down at the 17. Van Egan. So the Patriots now with the single back offense, and it's Van Egan stopped by Neal.
Single back, 2 tight ends, but they have number 73 in there, and whenever they get a one-on-one situation with John Hanna, you can bet they're going to run right over the top of him. He just blew people out off the line of scrimmage, and that 5 yards ought to go to him.
John Hanna, one of the great ones.
Take a look. Number 73, John Hanna. Number 76, Brian Holloway. Push him off the line, pick up 5.
Tony Collins is back in, lined up behind Van Egan. And here's Collins. Could not make the turn. John Woodring got a piece of him.
The Jets have defensed that play, and Tony Collins. They don't very often get beat by the same guy twice, and they're not going to let Tony Collins do it to him again.
Lost 2 on the play. Third down and 7. Jets lead 3-0. 18-yard field goal by Leahy. Steinfort missed from 39 in the final seconds. Ball at the Jet 14. Eason off the roll. Pass intended for Cedric Jones with Springs and Lynn covering.
Never could find a man to throw to. He's extremely cool when he's got that ball in his hand. He gives himself every chance to get a receiver open, but he hasn't had very much success doing so.
And Fred Steinfort, who is now 5 for 11 on the season, but has hit only 2 of his last 7, including the miss late in the first half, attempting from 33 yards.
What do they call him, Suitcase Freddy?
Yes,
he better get this one.
And this one is line drive through. It's a 33-yard field goal for Fred Steinfort. And we're now tied at 3. 2.5 minutes gone by, third quarter. And the Jets and the Patriots are now tied at 3. It's the rookie quarterback, Tony Eason. And this is Fred Steinfort, who just hit from 33 yards away to tie the game. And again, kicking to the combination of Preston Brown and Kurt Springs. This time it's Springs to the 10. Out near the 20-yard line, stopped by Johnny Rembert. Today's game is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Lee Jeans, the brand that fits. And by Honda Motorcycles. Honda, follow the leader. Richard Todd, 9 for 18, 84 yards, intercepted once. As a 1st and 10 at the 20.
We have not seen much of Wesley Walker.
And once again, the Jets have not looked to go deep. Wesley Walker on the short pattern for short yardage.
Yeah, it's one thing when you have a man that can run like Wesley Walker, throwing him a quick screen isn't the way to utilize him at his utmost. He's a man that started out the season just playing amazingly. I think he had 5 touchdowns real early, and with McNeil starting, if you can read all that stuff, it ought to say something to you.
Well, it has been a different story without the running game. Wesley has not been able to operate, although you look statistically, and he has a host of receptions, his best in his career, but it really doesn't mean anything. It's when the receptions are made. Freeman McNeil on the carry.
Well, it's, you know, they say, okay, shut him down, but sometimes you give a defense too much credit. They haven't tried to throw the ball to Wesley Walker. Now, he's not going to catch any balls if they don't throw it at him.
It's a 3rd down and 4. Walker did catch the 7 against New Orleans on Monday night, and he has played hurt, has that chronically sore Achilles tendon, but has not been the weapon, the touchdown weapon of past years.
He's in there. I'd throw him the ball.
All right, 3rd and 4 for Todd. Oh, beautiful catch by Lamb Jones. That's his 3rd reception of the day. He did not come up with the pass in the end zone, as we mentioned, in the first half, but he has made 3 terrific catches.
Made some real good catches in traffic. It's not a very easy completion. You see, Richard Todd is trying to wait, allowing Lamb Jones to get open. He's been given a lot of time by his offensive line. Jones actually wasn't open, made a pretty good move once he was covered, came up with a 1st down.
And the 1st down at the Jet 36, 4 minutes gone by, 3rd quarter, tied at 3. Play action, and Todd looking to go long for Walker.
It's amazing what happens when you give it a shot. We've been discussing Wesley Walker. He is not supposed to be able to outrun a zone defense, but he does so. There's nobody that can keep up with him when he's running for the football or once he's got it. That's the first time they've tried him long. They got 6 points.
And he beat Ray Claiborne, the right cornerback, for his 1st touchdown since game number 4. 64-yard pass play, and here's Pat Leahy. The Jets now lead the New England Patriots by the score of 10-3. Back with the Jet kickoff in a moment. A moment ago, Wesley Walker with a 6th touchdown reception of the season to give the Jets a 10-3 lead. And now Pat Leahy kicking off to the Patriots. And it's the short man, Keith Lee. Across the 20, John Woodring providing the coverage. Keith Lee, who recovered that Jet fumble on the kickoff by Preston Brown on the return. The Jet drive, a quickie, 4 plays, 80 yards, 64 yards to Walker. And now the Patriots 1st down. The ball spotted at the 22.
I know a lot of times you say, okay, fellas, now let's be patient. Let's not hurry up with this thing. We've got a lot of time. Well, they've used a lot of time, and I think they've already established that they don't run the ball very well today, so they better start firing it. And I think you'll see number 11 put it up.
Cedric Jones back in at wide receiver, starting start of the game, but he's back in the locker room for repairs. Play action, Eason sideline overthrow intended for Stanley Morgan. Stanley Morgan was all alone.
Well, he threw it a little high. And it looked to me as if Stanley went up for it with one arm. Maybe it's because that other arm is all bandaged and it's well, those are just gloves, but it looked like he just went up with one. And I think 2 are better.
It is a 2nd down and 10. Well, Tampa Bay now leading Houston by the score of 12-10. Oilers cutting the lead as Earl Campbell ran it in from 1 yard away.
See, Ron Myers is a little frustrated. Nothing good's happened for his group.
Again, the play action, and Eason running to his left, and with very little leverage, trying to find Morgan downfield.
Well, that's right, and it's he knew he couldn't stop because Neal was right on his heels, and had he done so, he'd have probably played his last play. So he elected to have a go down the field as far as he could. It wasn't far enough. Play was set up beautifully, and if Neal hadn't smelled it, it would have been a big gainer.
3rd down and 10. We're told that Bob Kreider is now through for the afternoon. He wasn't questionable because of a bruised thigh and did start the game, but Darrell Haley is in at right tackle. And the completion to Morgan. Stanley Morgan for the 1st down and more, and a fumble. This is Kenny Schwartz. So Ken Schroy, who earlier came up with a sack, now the fumble recovery, and the Jets take over.
That's what you get for hanging around the pile. Sometimes they give you a reward. As we take a look from this end zone, this is what the defensive group looks like. You see Morgan coming right underneath the linebackers. Well thrown ball. You mentioned Darrell Haley. He's been keeping Mark Gastineau out of Easton's hair. The fumble forms a turnover. Troy returns it back to the 19-yard line, and the Jets are in great shape.
Good hit by Crable and Ray to force the fumble. 21 yards of the pass and a 21-yard return with the ball by Schroy. First down for the Jets at the New England 19-yard line. Crable's fourth forced fumble of the season. And Todd went for the 6. He went for Walker.
Tell you what, Marv, he had him, but he didn't put the ball up in the air. That's one of those things, once in a while, you don't figure it out. I don't know what it is, because we saw the touchdown pass that Richard Todd threw. I don't think there's a man in the game could have made a better throw. This time, he's got him one-on-one with the defensive backs back to him. Look, Ray Claiborne is sitting there with his back to the quarterback. Now, when this thing starts, there is no one that can catch the ball except Wesley Walker. All he's got to do is get it out there. It's not a hard throw to make. He's got to throw it a little quicker, and he had 6.
Now he has a 2nd and 10 at the 19. Walker to the right. Jones slot right. Marion Barber starting for about 4. Johnny Rambert, rookie out of Clemson. On the tackle, Marion Barber, who has played halfback, fullback, is lined up as a tight end.
And he is something on special teams. That's where he does his playing.
And receiving an opportunity, what with the injury suffered by Bruce Hopper. Now Scott Durking and Kenny Lewis in the Jet backfield. It's a 3rd down and 8 as Barber picked up 2. The ball at the New England 17. 9.5 left in this 3rd quarter. Todd going short, intended for Walker.
I don't get the feeling that Richard Todd is very happy with himself right now, and I think he's one of those fellas that is subject to getting a little bit down on himself, and it's hurt his play, and right now I think it's bothering him.
And Pat Leahy, who hit from 18 yards away in the 2nd quarter, will try from just inside the 35. Pat Ryan will hold. And it's right through. So Leahy extending the Jet lead. With 5.5 gone by, 3rd quarter. Jets 13 and the Patriots 3.
It's a day for bombs in the NFL. You just saw Todd to Walker a few moments ago. Tampa Bay's getting in on the act. Here's Jack Thompson, 41 yards, a honey of a grab by Kevin House. It's now 19-10, Tampa Bay over Houston. Back to Shea.
All right, Len, and the Jets have put up 10 points in this 3rd quarter, and we're early. They lead the Patriots by the score of 13-3. This man, Pat Leahy, getting set to kick to Ricky Smith, 2nd-year man out of Alabama State. This is Smith to the 10. 20. He was slowed up by number 52, Jim Eliopoulos, backup linebacker. Next Sunday, join Len Berman as NFL 83 will get the day underway. It's week number 14 upcoming, an NFL doubleheader on NBC starting 12:30 Eastern time. A look at the early games: Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Miami, Houston, Buffalo, and Kansas City. And the second part of the doubleheader: Cleveland, Denver, Jets, and Baltimore. Check your local listings for the games and times in your area. First down at the 20. Tony Collins stopped, fumbles, hit by Neal. And let's see what the call is. Kenny Neal with the tackle, and apparently they say he was down. Play stopped.
He fumbled the ball, and it bounced right where he could, where their chances of retrieving this fumble were about 1 in 10. They had Jets in pursuit on all sides of the ball. It's one of those deals that just came back to the right man.
So it's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Make that 2nd and 16. And the Jets continue to do the job against the run, this time Marty Lyons. And Collins is having a very difficult day.
Well, that draw play at 2nd and 16 isn't going to be too effective usually. It's a safe it's a safe play to call, but it's become almost automatic when you're sitting in your own end zone trying to get out of there, and these defensive tackles are getting smarter.
All right, John, and now he has a 3rd down and 17. Well,
go down the field.
Even stat in terms of number of plays run thus far today. Time of possession has been even. Robert Weathers. Hard hit across the 20. Springs and Crable on the stop. 8 yards on the play for Weathers, but the Jet defense did the job again. And get the response from the home crowd. Kirk Springs dropping back, awaiting the punt from Rich Camarillo.
I don't get the feeling that New England thinks it's playing for a playoff spot right now. I don't. They are, but they've got to get on a roll, and they haven't shown any indication of it.
This is Springs. Springs to the 47. Again, the hard hits. Tim Golden on the stop of Springs, a 39-yard punt, 9-yard return, and the Jets in possession with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Well, to this point, it's been a flat day for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, you take a look at one bench and everybody's sitting down. If you go right across the field on the Jets side, everybody's standing up, and you get that feeling.
All right, 1st down for the Jets from the 47. And Todd rifling to Jones, who has been his favorite receiver this afternoon. Another 1st down for the Jets. Sanford and Blackman combining off the 17-yard pickup by Lamb Jones.
As we see Minnesota leading New Orleans 13-10, anytime you're able to get Lamb Jones and Wesley Walker on the same side of the field, one of them's going to come open.
And that's the update that Len Berman provided a moment ago. Tampa Bay leading Houston 19-10. Here we have 6.5 remaining, 3rd quarter. And the Jets 1st down at the New England 36-yard line. Jets lead 13-3. McNeil, the lone deep back. Todd sideline. Again, Lamb Jones. And tough to bring down at the 30. Ronnie Lippett in a wrestling hold on Lamb Jones.
Early in the ball game, Marv, they played those quarterbacks right up in their face, and you saw what happened when they tried to do that with Wesley Walker. He ran right by them, and they've backed off a little bit, and Todd's doing the right thing by taking what they're giving him.
And the 5 receptions by Johnny Lamb Jones, equaling a personal high. 2nd and 4 at the 30. Here's McNeil. And Freeman has the 1st down at the 25-yard line. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience, and a rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, the story behind this statistic is if you can pick up 4 yards or more on the 1st down, it provides all kinds of possibilities the rest of the way in that series.
We'll discuss it on the next play.
All right, 1st down at the 25. Again, McNeil, the lone deep back. It's play action. And Todd hanging in, able to throw it. What a recovery by Lamb Jones, who took a pretty good chuck from Ronnie Lippett.
Well, he tripped. He tripped over him when he cut inside, and sometimes you'll get an interference call, which is what the fans think should be done. Other times it's just a mistake. Let's go back and redo it. You see, as he comes out of it, he's moving one way, he's turned his head the other, and this is never going to be an incompletion. It's just lucky it wasn't an interception. We talked about 1st and 10 and how you get 4 or more yards to have some more options. Some teams are better off they don't pick up anything. And if you look at the Jets today, when they've made 5 or more, they've been worse off.
It is a 2nd and 10 at the 25. 4:45 left, 3rd quarter. McNeil trying the left side. Kenneth Sims on the tackle. Four and a half and counting in this third quarter. The Jets with a 13-3 lead. 2 field goals by Pat Leahy, one from 18, one from 34. Todd to Walker for 64 yards. The Patriots score Steinfort, 33-yard field goal. McNeil, 51 yards, 18 carries. And it's McNeil, short of the first down. Julius Adams.
What do we talk about? You get into a 3rd and 5, you've got to call the right play. You know, there's no reason you can't go down the field when it's 3rd down and 5. They've had absolutely no success on 3rd down and 5 or less. This time they try to pick it up with a trap play. They expect to get a good pass rush. Julius Adams grabs the play from behind and shuts it down. So they'll have to be contented with another field goal try.
And it's from 35 yards away. Moments ago, Leahy hit from 34. Ryan puts it down. And Leahy puts it through. So that's 3 for 3 on the day for Pat Leahy. And the Jets now leading the Patriots by the score of 16-3. Marv Albert, John Brody, Shea Stadium in New York. The lights are on. It's a beautiful afternoon for football here in the New York area. And the Jets with a 16-3 lead on the Patriots. Ricky Smith off the kickoff, out to the 10, 20. And the Jet kickoff coverage has been superb. Again, it was Marion Barber leading the way.
Boy, and when he hits you, he lets you know who did the work. Number 31. He's been playing out of the backfield some today. He's not coming down as fast as he normally does, due to that partially, I believe. But when he makes his decision, he does get a piece of the ball carrier. Whack.
So the Patriots once again forced to start at their 20-yard line, and Tony Eason, the rookie quarterback, who has replaced the injured Steve Grogan in the starting lineup, not able to move this club. Throwing on first down, Stanley Morgan. And the head fake on Johnny Lynn did not work.
Well, John played it very smart. He was one-on-one out there, and had he made some sort of a move to make the tackle early, he could have missed. Morgan would have been long gone. Instead, he just stayed there and let his pursuit catch him.
4th catch of the day for Morgan. Picked up 6, 2nd down and 4. The man who tackled him, Johnny Lynn, one of 2 Jets to announce last week that they are headed to the USFL. Linebacker Ron Crosby also made the announcement, and there is the fear that Darrell Ray could be next. Art Eason in trouble, able to ride off the tackle, and then throws it incomplete.
Derek Ramsey did not know that the ball was coming his way. Eason faked him out. He was trying to help him run with the ball for a first down. He just made a, this is what we talk about when we talk about outstanding movement. You don't teach this. He finds a way to get out of trouble as well as any young quarterback I've ever seen. He's not fast, but he creates space for himself by doing this. When he throws the ball down the field, you see, he has fooled Derek Ramsey, who was out here trying to block for him. He actually put the ball in a perfect spot. Ramsey went to block just a little too quick.
And Marty Lyons had a shot, but Eason able to scramble away. It's a 3rd down and 4 from the 26. And Eason underthrowing once again. Clarence Weathers, the intended receiver.
Well, he just couldn't find a man open. He's buying as much time as he can, but he's throwing the ball with a weak arm. We see a penalty down. Take a look. Here's number 29, Johnny Lynn. And I do believe that is the call. It's defensive holding, and if that's so, it's the first break the Patriots have had in some time.
Lynn covering.
Before the
Secret
pass is
Jones.
thrown, holding number 29. 5 yards, first down.
They got it. Can't get away with anything anymore. Never could when Tony was there.
So the Jets, who, as you just saw, have been a penalized team throughout the season, one of a host of difficulties that they have had, particularly holding by the offensive line, although that has not been the case thus far today. And the first down for the Patriots. Eason nearly picked off and deflected. Lance Mel got a piece of it, but Clarence Weathers
we've got
able to come up with it.
We've got fellas spread out all over back there where they're pass protecting. It looks like we've got a couple of Jets down, and for sure an offensive tackle for the Patriots. This ball was thrown a little short. Easton's got to put a little more on those sidelines. Lance Mel doesn't very often let those balls get away. And we're going to go back.
The catch made by Weathers off the deflection by Mel, but they are bringing it back. And again, we'll hear from the referee, Jim Tunney.
Holding, 61, 10 yards, still first down.
All right, Ron Wooten, the right guard, second year out of North Carolina. There he is, called on the penalty.
Dr. William Behind to the first gate, please.
And it's now a 1st and 20. Back at the 21. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in this third quarter. Jets led 3-0 at halftime. 13 points on the board for the Jets in this third quarter to lead it 16-3. And Eason throwing again on the run. Leaping catch for the first down. And he caught it inbounds. Cedric Jones, nice play, and picked up 20.
It was a design play to go outside, try and see, they have to do something to get number 99 off the quarterback's face. Now, they did. They cut down on him. Derek Ramsey, 88, the tight end, cut down. It still doesn't keep him out of the play. He didn't even try to hit Eason. Knocked him sprawling. Must be tough being that big and strong. Got to watch where you go.
And let's see, they did mark it as a first down, and apparently they spotted it just about a half-yard short. It's a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you know, Marv, we saw the official give it a first down sign. I guess somebody else took it back.
So 2nd and less than a yard. And it's Van Egan for the first down. Mark Van Egan picks it up.
Okay. Mark Van Egan has been effective wherever he's played, whenever he's played. And they've had their most success running straight at the Jets. This time, Joe Klecko, little double team block on Joe, moves him out of his spot. Mark Van Egan runs right through, picks up the first. And Ron Wooten.
And a timeout has been called with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left, third quarter. That's Pat Ryan warming up.
Pardon me? Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I can tell by the look in Richard Todd's eye that he's not too pleased with the deal. Sometimes it's a personality. It's a discussion that sticks your quarterback on the bench. This surprises me.
All right, well, we'll see. As Eason had it deflected, intended for Ramsey. Jerry Holmes, the right corner, had a shot at it. A minute and 48 left, third quarter, and the Jets leading the Patriots by the score of 16-3. There's Steve Grogan
having his best year, Marv. I think Lou Erber should take a lot of credit for that. When the decision was made as to who to go with, and it wasn't an easy one, they went with this man, and I think it's paid off well for them. He's having his best.
7th play of this drive. Morgan is left, Jones right, and Ramsey in motion. Play action. And down goes Eason. Mark Gastineau. And that is his 15th sack of the season. Leads the club among the leaders in the NFL.
And isn't it fun? We haven't seen enough of Mark today, but seems like every time a team starts a drive, he gets his number into the act somehow.
And that's the Jets, third sack of the day. It's Gastineau, Lyons, and Schroy. And it sets it back to a third down and 19. Jets go with the extra defensive backs. Flag thrown, and Eason well off the mark. And a holding call against New England. Our check of the scoreboard. Cleveland now leading Baltimore 31-17 in the third. Here's that call.
68, decline, fourth down.
It is Darrell Haley, the right tackle. He came on to replace the injured Bob Fighter. Called for the hold. Washington over Philly in the third, now 28-21. Tampa Bay in front of Houston in the third quarter. And this is Rich Camarillo in his third year out of the University of Washington. He's had himself a very busy day, as has Kirk Springs. Springs back at his 20. Springs has to cover up to maintain possession inside the 15-yard line. Well, coming up next, we'll have the conclusion of the Skins game. 4 of golf's greatest players, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson, playing for a minimum of $20,000 a hole for a total purse of $360,000. That'll be from Scottsdale, Arizona, coming up next right here, NBC Sports Week 83.
And all our discussion was for naught. Number 14's back in the lineup. It did look like Pat Ryan may come in, but it didn't make sense.
Now Richard Todd has a first down inside the 15-yard line off the 48-yard punt by Camarillo. Marion Barber, good second effort. Toby Williams, the left defensive end, on the tackle. Down to 45 seconds left, third quarter.
Well, you talk about your offense moving people off the line of scrimmage. We've seen it from the Patriots side. Now let's take a look at what they do to Lester Williams, number 72, Guy Bingham, who's starting his first ball game at center. He gets right in there, and with Dan Alexander, they move up and make a hole.
9 yards for Barber. 2nd and 1 at the 24. And it's Marion Barber for the first down, and again refusing to go down, carrying people out to the 35. 11 yards for Barber. And time is running down in this third quarter.
And Marion, number 31, is having himself his finest game since being a Jet as the third quarter ends. He carries 4 Patriots with him for a first down in an 11-yard game.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Marv Albert, John Brody, Shea Stadium in New York. Patriots have been a very good fourth quarter team, and they'll need all of that going for them as they trail 16-3 going to the fourth.
Well, they better be today. Remember, they're within 2 touchdowns, but they haven't shown anything that looks encouraging if you're a Patriot fan.
And the Jets in possession, first down, 35-yard line. And they continue to go with the second-year man out of Minnesota, Marion Barber. Clayton Wysoon on the tackle.
This is the first quarter, and not much happened there. Now let's take a look at the third. You see, both teams are moving the ball around pretty well, but the Jets are moving it in the end zone.
And also aided by the field goal kicking of Pat Leahy, who has connected 3 times. Todd hitting Wesley Walker for 64 yards for a touchdown. 2nd and 8 for the Jets. And Todd playing for
Marv, we mentioned earlier we saw him cradle the ball when he was in a situation. This time he's got his hands on that ball, had to make a fine play to bring in the reception. He splits the zone defense. It's a very tough play he makes, but watch his hands go out after that baby. He goes out and gets it, brings it in, picks up a first down. This breaks his record. That's his 6th reception, first time ever, and he could have had 8.
So it is a career high for Johnny Lamb Jones. Picked up 28 on the play. 6 catches, 86 yards for Jones. First down for the Jets at the Patriot 35 as we get underway in this fourth quarter. The tight end, Jerome Barker. Barker down to the 10.
That play was made possible by Richard Todd. Some people have criticized him for sticking with one receiver too long, giving his intention away. Take a look. He comes out here. It's a good rollout. He's very effective at doing so. He's been effective a couple times. He doesn't go back until it's time to throw it. When he does, he's got the linebackers 18 yards down the field. Easy to block. Barkham picks up a first.
25-yard pass play, and Jerome nearly took one of the sideline photographers with him. Did. And this crowd coming alive. Jets lead it 16-3. Freeman McNeil inside the 10. Wysoon and James combining. Now New Orleans in front by the count of 17-13. Fourth quarter, Tampa Bay over Houston, 26-10.
Houston's still going to get the pick. Well, who is? I'll bet you who's going to get it? Cincinnati's going to get first, aren't they?
Well, Cincinnati does have Tampa Bay selection.
So they're not going
off the Jack Thompson trade. Second down and 7, and a timeout called. So Todd wants to talk it over. With 12:46 left, fourth quarter, the Jets in front, 16-3.
Tampa, the Oilers trying to fight back. Here goes Earl Campbell. Finally gets himself across, but Houston still trails Tampa Bay 26-17 in the fourth. Let's go back to Shea now.
Holiday season, a little bit prematurely, but he's been leading the crowd. Jets now, second down, and 8 from about the 8-yard line. Todd 16 for 28, 235 yards. Wesley Walker again. And he split Nelson and Lippett to make the catch.
Well thrown ball, and he just dissected a defense that looked pretty tough. Cut right underneath. It's what you call an old wide receiver delay. Todd gets enough time to wait on him. When he does, Walker breaks way clean across the flow and into the end zone.
And Pat Leahy putting it through to extend the Jet lead to 23-3. 7 plays, 85 yards, 3 minutes and 17 seconds. And we'll be right back. And on the drive, Richard Todd, 3 for 3, 60 yards, and the score, capping it off on the 8-yard pass to Wesley Walker. So the Jets with a 23-3 lead on New England. The kickoff by Leahy. Ricky Smith up to the 10. 20. Swarmed under at the 25. A flag has been thrown. Today's game is being brought to you by Chevrolet. America is on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By the Travelers Insurance Companies and your independent professional traveler's agent or broker. And by Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car. The call against the Patriots, here it is.
Illegal block in the back, number 87 during the run back, 10 yards, first down.
All right, the tight end Lynn Dawson is called for the illegal block. Cleveland leading Baltimore now 38-17 in the third. Mike Pruitt, 2-yard run to add to that lead. And here is Eason on his exit. It is sack number 4 for the Jets. Number 2 for Gastineau. They may have scored as a share between Gastineau and Lyons.
Between all 4 of them.
They spotted out of the 2.
Looked like they had a meeting back there. Tony's trying to find somebody open, but he hasn't got an outlet. When you don't have an outlet and you're trying to go down the field and all your receivers are covered, that's about all you have left to do.
Gastineau has at least 1 sack each of the last 7 games. second and long. Collins, again he stopped. Marty Lyons, who has done a job against the run all day long.
And all year long. Marty's been, when they started getting better against the run, a big portion of it has been number 93. You know, right now we're in a critical situation for New England. If they have any chance of getting back in this ball game, there's 11.5 minutes left to play. They've got to do something, and I'll be a little surprised if they don't air it out here.
Thus far, Collins only 14 yards, 15 carries. Van Egan blocking for Collins, and he picked up short yardage. Lyons and Neal combining on the stop, and the Patriots are held once again.
See, the Jet fans aren't hard to please. Just get ahead something like 23-3, and you'll hear a lot of folks yell.
Well, there is one consistent factor as you look at Tony Collins, who came in with enormous statistics. One consistent factor that both the Jets and the Patriots share, that is their unpredictability from week to week. And today the Jets are up, at least in the second half, where they've taken this game away. And the Patriots, in contrast, having big problems. Kirk Sprint, midfield, and run out at the 45. 55-yard punt, 15-yard return. Van Egan on the tackle. And a penalty flag thrown.
It looks like the dam is about to break. When you get the ball deep in your own territory and you're 20 points down, you must do something. And I was a little surprised that they just kind of said, okay, folks, you can have it back.
And you saw Tunney indicate the face mask.
We may get a face mask view here. We
Face
did.
mask, number 30 during the run back, 5 yards, first down.
Might have been the other fella, but they did get the penalty.
Well, they call it on Tatupu, but you could take your pick. So the Jets, first down at the New England 40-yard line. Barber and McNeil on the running backs. That's Lamb Jones lining up in the slot, and Walker wide right. Here's Barber. Picked up 5 on the play. Marion Barber running very well in the second half.
And you're going to see him get a chance to run very well for the next 10 minutes as long as the Jets have the ball. With a 20-point lead, I do not think they'll be doing much. And I don't blame them.
Second down and 5.
Clarence Weathers, we haven't seen a lot of him. A real Cinderella story.
Younger brother of running back Robert Weathers. And Clarence, one of the big surprises in preseason. Flicker and Todd Bowles. Well, that was one from deep in the Joe Walton playbook.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that surprised me most is that they didn't surprise the defense of the Patriots. I can't imagine they'd be looking for a flea flicker at this time in the ball game. However, they were. Wesley Walker, a perfectly thrown ball would have had him for 6. And Richard throws some of those.
So a third down and 5, 9 minutes and 43 seconds left, fourth quarter. The Jets lead the Patriots 23-3. Todd had time. Again, it's Barkham. Roland James, the strong safety, on the stop as the Jets pick up the first down, a 10-yard pickup.
That was the first time I had seen any sort of exchange problem between Guy Bingham and Richard Todd. Underneath the center coming out. It's the first time all day, and that's pretty good work.
Guy Bingham starting in place of All-Pro Joe Fields, out with the sprained foot. Someone stepped on it in the game Monday in New Orleans. So Bingham starting at center, Pellegrini at left guard. First down at the Patriot 25. Here's McNeil. Just a yard. Julius Adams, a 35-year-old, 12-year man out of Texas Southern on the stop.
Julius had been the one consistent thing on the Patriot defense for the past 10 years. It's good to see him with a team that looks as though they are going to improve with him. That's not going to get it. For neither back has really had a very good day. It's the big plays by Wesley Walker that have changed the game.
Second down and 9 at the 24. Todd off the roll. Oh, beautiful reception by Jerome Barkham. Fred Marion on the coverage. Another 17 yards added on for the Jets. And Todd working well with both Jones, Walker, and the tight end Barkham.
Very, very nice. I get the feeling that when the ball is moved around the infield a lot, Richard Todd likes that. He likes that style of game. And remember, he doesn't call the plays, but I really think that it fits his style of play exceptionally well.
And Todd has had an excellent second half. Some questions could have been raised in the first half and were. First and goal at the 8. Going inside. Intended for Marion Barber. Covered by Ronnie Levitt. So it'll be a second and goal from the 8 as we recap the scoring. The 18-yard field goal by Leahy in the second quarter. Steinfort, after missing from 39, hit from 33. And then it was Todd to Walker, 64-yard pass play, 4 minutes in. Third quarter, then 34-yard field goal by Leahy, extending it to 13-3. Leahy again made it 16-3. And early fourth, Todd to Walker on the 8-yard pass play. And that's the way we stand with 7.5 left, fourth quarter.
Reverse.
On a reverse to Jones, nothing. Well, they're going for the gadget plays here in the fourth quarter and have not worked. Loss of 6.
It looks like they're all standing in the huddle saying, okay, what haven't we tried? Anybody want some? And I think for all it matters, that's probably the best thing to do. Let their offense have a little fun. Sometimes it's not enough fun, and people make it too serious, and I don't think they're nearly as effective when they do.
One trick play did work earlier, the fake field goal, and Pat Ryan ran for 25 yards. Third down and 14. Inside the 15. Todd throwing to Shula. Inside the 5, but short on the first down. Marion
they better go for the field goal. I see a lot of people sticking around saying, hey, why don't we try to score a touchdown? That would not be smart. I've seen 3 touchdowns scored in less than 10 minutes several times. There may only be 6. But if you'll recall when we saw the Raiders and the Redskins play, 7.5 minutes, and the Redskins scored 3 touchdowns. So it's not over till it's over.
Can I quote you?
Yeah. Some guy said that once.
All right, Ryan holding again for Leahy. And Leahy 3 for 3 on the day. 19-yard field goal by Leahy, who makes it 4 out of 4. And a Jet 26-3 lead on New England. All right, that is Andre Tippett on crutches. He was knocked out of the game in the first half. The starting outside linebacker on the left. Patriots banged up pretty good here today. And rookie Smith on the return. Ankle tackle across the 30 by Jim Eliopoulos to stop Smith, and a flag has been thrown. So the good return straight ahead by Ricky Smith. Jets had the ball 4.5 minutes, leading to that field goal by Leahy to give the Jets a 26-3 lead. And Ron Meyer and his Patriots losing last week to Cleveland, 30-zip. And a loss here today crusher would put the Patriots at 6 and 7. It would put the Jets at 6 and 7, and they're looking at it in a different manner. They say, hey, we're still alive, which they are mathematically for a wild card berth, but the Patriots saying, hey, we're blowing this thing.
Well, they've got every right to do so.
Number 50 added to the end of the run. First down.
All right, the personal foul on Bob Crable, the Jets middle linebacker. So the Patriots first down at their 48-yard line. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Tony Collins stopped at midfield by Crable. All right, let's get an update as we return you to NFL 83.
Okay, thanks, Marv. In Tampa, Jack Thompson, the quarterback for the Bucs, he had 7 touchdown passes in the first 12 weeks. 4 today. This one to Jim Obradovich. Tampa Bay's cruising 33-17. Back to Shea.
And back at Shea, it is a 2nd down and 8 for the New England Patriots. Tony Eason has gone the distance. And quarterback, the rookie from Illinois, replacing, looking up. And Kenny Neal trying to get back. Eason replacing the injured Steve Grogan. And as you mentioned earlier, John, is speculating, not even a notion of going to Grogan at any point.
No, and they never did intend to. As we see, Cleveland is just on a roll. They won 38-17. New Orleans looks like they're keeping themselves in the hunt. And San Francisco, to a lot of people's surprise,
77, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
is getting their hat handed to them, and that keeps Chicago with a slight hope.
How about Philadelphia hanging in against Washington?
That's good playing.
All right, Kenny Neal was called on that penalty for a 2nd down and 3 for the Patriots. And Eason able to complete for the first down to Stephen Starring. Johnny Lynn on the tackle, first down for the Patriots at the 35-yard line.
And these are the Patriot cheerleaders have had very little to cheer about today. That's about the first time we've seen them.
Cheering for on-camera exposure. Down to 4.5 left, fourth quarter. Listen, hauled down by, yes, Mark Gastineau. And that is sack number 5 for the Jets.
And he's got it going just the way he likes. He's in his sprinter stance. We saw, early in the ball game, Darrell Haley did a pretty good job on Mark Gastineau, but in the second half, it's been all Mark.
Haley is a second-year man out of Utah who took over for Bob Kreider. Has either 2.5 sacks or 3.
He'll settle for either one, I imagine.
No, Mark wants 3. No question. It's a 3rd down and 21. To Robert Weathers, short of the first down. Mel and Ray right there. Boy, it's fun to play defense under these conditions.
When you have a good pass rush and you can just, all the linebackers drop back about 15 yards. You can see in your screen with the wide secondary, they don't care whether those backs coming out of the backfield catch the ball or not, because when they do, the distance shortens quickly. Now it is 4th down and 13, and I don't think you'll see the punter.
Clarence Weathers out to the left side. Cedric Jones goes the other way. It's a 4th and 13. And Mel on the intercept. So Mel with his 6th interception of the season. coming off the sensational game against New Orleans on Monday night. Last week, off the intercept, ran it in from 34 yards away, and he picks one off right here.
And that made his linebacker coach, Ralph Baker, quite happy. He was the gentleman you saw on the sideline in the headset. His linebackers have been doing their job.
Lance Bell, one of a host of linebackers out of Penn State, having a terrific season. A moment ago, picked off his 6th of the year. Kenny Neal was shaken up on that last play, but apparently is all right. Jets take over at their 29, 3 minutes remaining. Marion Barber. Pushed back by the combination of Larry McGrew and the nose tackle, Lester Williams.
You know, Marv, we talk about the lingering hopes of the Jets and the Patriots to get some sort of a shot at a playoff berth. It really depends on Denver, and it depends on Cleveland, because they have the inside track, and it looks like the other three will make it easy when you deal with Pittsburgh, the Raiders, and Miami.
Right.
But 9 and 7 could not get in, you know.
2nd and 9 at the 30. And it's Freeman McNeil as the Jets just waste the clock down. Weissoon and Williams. Toby Williams combining. Here's a look at the situation going into today.
And we already know that Cleveland is now 8 and 5, so that puts Buffalo and Denver both in a position to get to 8 and 5 with a 2-game advantage. And I would say that all chances for a playoff berth, if either Denver or Buffalo win today, are nil.
And the Jets play at Baltimore next week. And the Jets very angry coming off the loss here to the Colts. Several Baltimore players had some unkind words, particularly about Richard Todd. So that should be an interesting matchup. That'll be next week in Baltimore. With the timeout, let's return to our studios at NFL 83.
In Cleveland, Mike Pagel at quarterback for the Colts. Keep your eye on receiver Ray Butler. He scores, but he is clobbered by Mike Whitwell. So Cleveland is hanging on. They lead it 38-23. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Len. Jets taking command in the second half. Put up 13 points, third quarter, 10 in the fourth, and lead the Patriots 26-3 with 2 minutes, 2 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
And we're taking a look at Tony Easton, a Sacramento, California product that went to the University of Illinois. This is his first start in the National Football League. I'm sure he'll have several more and a fine career ahead of him, and he'll remember this day for quite a while.
Richard Todd off the swing. Kenny Lewis. First down. Kenny Lewis picking it up, run out by Don Blackman.
You get the feeling these fellas are scared this game's going to end.
16-yard pickup, 2-minute warning provided. We'll be back in a moment. So another fantastic finish, and the prospects are that that will not take place here. The Patriots have been buried here by the Jets, 26-3.
Those last two are formidable.
Yes. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Miami. Nice word, John. And New Orleans next week for the Patriots, followed by road games against the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Freeman McNeil.
Freeman McNeil takes the pitch from Todd.
Look to stiff arm taken out by Sims.
Run out of bounds by Kenneth Sims.
And dejection on the faces of the New England Patriots. So they will drop to a record of 6 and 7. The Jets move up to 6 up and 7 down.
Gain of 3 on the play.
And it's a 2nd down and 7 upcoming. At the 49-yard line. Terrific second half for Richard Todd. Got it going. Combining with Wesley Walker, Lamb Jones, Jerome Parker. Here's McNeil. Freeman McNeil helped by the good block by Dan Alexander. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. The coordinating producer of NBC's football coverage, Ted Nathanson. Today's telecast produced by George Finkel. Directed by John Gonzalez. Our technical director, Jim Marshall. And associate director, Joe Michaels.
3rd and 1 from the Patriots 45.
Third down and 1 upcoming. Tampa Bay now leading Houston in the fourth quarter. 33-24. And we hope to get to NFL 83 for a recap of all the scores around the NFL before the Skins game right here on NBC. Look out. Yes, interference call as Derek Gaffney was taken out of the play by Ronnie Lippett, the left cornerback.
He sure was. You never know what a guy's thinking, but I think Gaffney would have run right under the ball had he not been curtailed from behind.
So it's a penalty that cost the Patriots 27 yards.
Pass interference, defense, number 42, first down.
Ronnie Lippett, rookie from Miami, called for the interference.
This is kind of weird. There's a 20, what is it now? It's about a 23-point difference, and the wrong team's throwing the ball. New England's running it, and the Jets are throwing.
And time again to throw. Good catch by Walker, covered by Claiborne.
You see the offensive linemen down there waving their arms like, get that clock rolling. I don't care what you wide receivers and quarterbacks want to do. We've had enough. We got the ball game. Let's get in the locker room.
8-yard pickup. 2nd and 2.
You know, I think I'll remember this if I'm Ron Myers. I remember this. I think it's time. Hey, the game's over. Let's go to the next case.
Well, they will not meet again this season. Scott Durkin.
Are you saying football players can't remember for 365 days?
Well, the coaches do. The hatred is better when they meet again same season.
Yeah.
As the Jets may find out next week when they face the Baltimore Colts. But this game is over. I'd like to thank our spotters, Dan Regan, Mike Albert, Joe Costanza, handling our stats, helping in the booth, Jim McLaughlin and Ron Zipkowski. The New York Jets over the New England Patriots, 26-3. Marv Albert with John Brody. Stay tuned for Skins following it.